Yay, Jamie Daggers is live. Half a year in a row, 7 months in all. And I'm back from England and my huge adventure, Jamie. I hope you're doing amazingly well and that you had the best Adepticon.
Stronger and gayer than ever. That's our motto.
Well, if we're doing this,
Stronger and gayer than ever. That's our motto.
Holy moly, we barely started. You guys already kicked off a friggin' hype train? What the heck is going on here? I missed you guys. How were you? How have you been? Oh my gosh, I forget how to stream. Am I doing this right? Is this how it goes? Is this how we stream? My voice is still recovering, so you're gonna have to deal with that. I don't know what to do about it. I can't fix that. I can't. I've been trying to rest my voice a little bit and failing completely. You can't hear me. Okay. You can't hear me at all? I feel like... How can you not hear me? Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. You know what? That worked. That worked way too well, Odd. Oh my gosh, look at everybody. Hi! The famous creator of Siren's Watch. I'm not famous. I'm not famous. Yet. Did I have the bestest time? Laura, I had the best time ever. I had the greatest time. I spent so much time with so many wonderful people. It was a really, really, really emotional con. Just like trying to be present every single moment that I could, and like really, really just trying to wrap my head around the fact that like I'm demoing my first game ever, and my best friend in the entire world is demoing hers back to back with me. How cool is that? You know what I mean? It's like a one-time experience that'll never happen again. And then getting to spend time with just so many wonderful people this weekend was just like, it was such a super emotional experience. I feel like, man, the amount of times I cried is just too witty. Do you guys see that? Do you guys see that big friggin' purple check mark next to Witty's name? Do you see that? I just got butterflies seeing that. I got to be there when Witty got that email. Sort of. I was in my room and she called me to tell me about it, and I freaked out. I freaked out, you guys. Whew, okay, I'm getting all worked up. It was just, man, what a weekend. What a weekend. That was just one of just the amazing things that happened, and like truly just like unforgettable experience. It's been a lot to unpack. I've been very emotional while I'm like literally physically unpacking. Just so much. Witty, I love you so much. I'm so proud of you. You did such a great job. We kicked so much butt this weekend. There were so many people. I had people messaging me to be like, hey, tell Witty that they're talking about Night Thirst in the hobby area. And I had people telling me like so many good things about my game when we were demoing it. Someone called it elegant, which was like the nicest compliment ever. There's just so much excitement going around, and I'm going to be riding this high for a while. I'm feeling really motivated. I'm feeling really I'm feeling like there's a change in my content coming up soon. In a lot of big ways. I got to spend a lot of time with people that I've wanted to hang out with for a really long time.
What a time to be alive. You were so great to talk to.
Mike, thank you so much for the 6 months. I have to greet. I mean, okay, I can't go through and greet everybody. I don't have time today. I'm really sorry, but I will thank everyone who subbed while we were in the pre-show. I had a lot of people unprompted say that one of their favorite things was all the stuff at the BSS booth. Black Site guys, they know what's up. They know what they're doing.
There's only so many times you can try to sneak into the penguin enclosure at the zoo before they stop letting you in there. And that's a big reason that I pitched for them. Wife and I just signed up for your Saturday slot at Nerdfest. Let's go. That's so exciting. I'll have my demo with me at Nerdfest and all of the cons that I go to this year. So if you want to try that, you're more than welcome to. You just got to ask me. I won't have any formal setup for the demo, but I will have it with me, and I'm more than happy to demo it for people. I can't speak highly enough. Like, this is literally just going to be a stream about me talking about how much fun I had at Adepticon and hang out with Witty and all my other amazing friends. We got to play Pokemech with that Gyarados that I made. I would love to talk more about that, and I want to tell you guys so much about it. I want to tell you so much about it. But today is a little
different. Today and tomorrow, for that matter, are a little bit different. We're going to be streaming on behalf of Cephalofair, which is the company that makes Gloomhaven. To be honest with you guys, I was planning on taking this week off, but I did schedule these 2 streams for today and tomorrow. So your other streamer friends that just got back from the con, don't expect a lot from them, because we all really should be taking time off. It was something that I I should have thought of, but I didn't. And I'm so glad I'm here, and I'm so glad we're doing this. But yeah, it's time to rest for a bunch of us. Did I acquire any cool minis, Haley? More than I can even think of right now. We will do a stream soon where I will talk all about Adepticon, show off everything that I got, all the cool stuff. I really didn't buy many things. It was a lot of gifts from friends and like just neat little, like fun little things I found. I kind of just bought a couple t-shirts, a little bit of paint, and that was really it. And a bust. I bought a little bust. It was wild to see Grumpy streaming this morning and Witty last night. Witty wasn't streaming last night, as far as I know. But wow, this Siren's Watch is the coolest game ever, second only to Epic Vampire. Yes, that's true. They did that. Let's see. Okay, let me catch up on the subs and bits and stuff. We've got a 1-month sub from Odd. Thank you for gifting that to Dr. Penguin. That's right, Spark did stream. Yeah, it was Giddy. Last night was Giddy streaming. Giddy was streaming the whole time you were gone, actually, I think. Let's see here. Mike, thank you so much for the tier 1 resub for 6 months now. Mike, thank you so much. It was so cool to meet you. Spark, thanks for the biddies. We got Noah with biddies. Thank you. Close, thank you for the resub for 7 months now. Jeez Louise. Opcost for 15 months. Opcost, thank you for the brushes and the really cool sweatshirt, by the way. Painterly Git, thank you so much for the sub. Painterly Git, you gave me one of the kindest gifts I think I've ever gotten. One of the most thoughtful gifts I've ever gotten, and I can't wait to tell everybody about it. But like I said, today we're going to be focusing on painting these micro minis, and I can't wait to show them to you guys. They're here on my desk. I primed them last night. They are small. They are really, really small. But I figure if anybody can do it, I can do it. So let's do this. Bunko, hi. I'm making a list of salute vendors I want to make sure I see. Ooh. Laura, I can't wait to hear about that. Yeah, so real quick before we dive in. I was saying, I'm sensing a content change soon. I guess theoretically, and we'll go into this more, I'm thinking about it still. It's all kind of happening at once. So I'm trying to be present and conscientious and sort of feeling how things are evolving mentally and what direction I want to go. And I really decided I want to take more time to put into YouTube, less of deliberate tutorial videos and more of abstract things, a little bit more artistic approaches to things, talking about just telling stories about the things, the cool minis that I've gotten and the painting processes that I employ, and the imagination behind those things, and just kind of enjoying this storytelling aspect of the video format that doesn't really translate to streaming. So it's not going to change a whole lot of what I'm already doing, other than maybe cutting off a little bit of time for myself to do that sort of thing. That and a lot of other cool projects that I've been kind of noodling on, and I'm going to be sharing more information about as I start to develop those concepts a little bit. Yeah, Sebastian, that was a big part of why I had this kind of creative crisis leading into Adepticon, was I started to realize I was getting really burnt out. And so I think a big part of this whole revelation is going to include kind of pumping the brakes on competition painting for a little bit. At least just being a little bit more or a little bit less intense with it, not painting something new for every single stream, every single con, and really just focusing on maybe 1 or 2 a year. So that's going to be a big one, but we'll definitely be at Rogue Hobby Stand a bunch. But anything interesting, cuteness, Moonstone's awesome. You got to try. Intentional instead of intense. Exactly. I still have Adepticon 2023 related burnout, so I haven't worked much on my GW projects. Yeah, I don't know. I hung out with I hung out with like the 28 crowd a lot this weekend, and it was so cool to meet everybody and see all the cool creative like things that they're making, all the kit bashing and the really creative like strange interesting processes that they employ, and that's been really inspiring to me. So exploring that a little bit more and like doing more creatively satisfying work to feed my creative drive. But yeah, no, it was just a really cool weekend. I'm so proud of Whitty, and I'm so proud of me, and I'm so proud of Blacksite and like all the cool stuff that we did this weekend. I hit walls that I didn't know I had, socially speaking. I slept very little, but I'm here, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited. Whitty. I'm so thankful that you spent some time like coming in and saying hi and sharing your accomplishment with everybody. I'm so proud of you. And I'm just so excited to get into this again and try something completely new. I've never painted at this scale before, so I'm really, really excited to do this together. And we'll talk about it as we go, and we'll take a look at these little dudes. I kind of started at my normal zoom out, like range here, and we're going to zoom in together because I'm going to tell you guys all about this. I forgot I didn't fill my reservoir for my brush cleaning, so I'm going to go do that really quickly. I'm just going to leave the chair up, so no misbehaving while I'm gone, okay? I think in addition to to all the cool accomplishments that we had this weekend, I think one of the biggest standout things was just how cool it was that I got to spend so much time with other ladies in the hobby this weekend. It was really cool to hang out with Zambies and our new friend Elle, and just really talk about how cool it's been to see like more diversity entering the hobby and like really celebrating that. Do we have a new friend? Hi, new friend. I'm a big fan of Cephalofair. Going to check the stream. Awesome. Welcome in, Frosty friends. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Hello, chair. Oh my gosh. Yeah, on those big bases. Yeah, listen. Let me show you. Don't drink paint water. No, stop throwing things. I wonder how small these are in comparison to the status markers in Judgment. Hi, Auntie Electric. Welcome in. Hi, V. It's good to see you. Yeah, there were so many more of us at the con. Yeah, exactly, Chromatic. It was just so cool to celebrate that and enjoy that that space, and like Zambi's achieving so much with her competition entries, and Chromatic, you placing so highly so many times in your respective entries. It was just so cool to be there, be present, celebrate all the girlies. It's just super cool. It was so much fun, and it just feels like there's big changes on the horizon. And I'm really, 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 really excited for it. I've been really, admittedly, I've been really emotional since I got home. And talking about it right now is the first time that I felt really, truly, truly excited. Yeah, Paintchantress getting a demon. God, I barely got to talk to her. I literally only talked to the people that I immediately hung out with. Everything else was just all energy devoted to demoing and then recovering from demoing afterwards. But yeah, just there's so much joy, and being here with you guys just has re-energized me in a way I haven't felt since I got home. So thank you. Let's look at these minis. All right, so yeah, Spark, I miss everyone. I was unpacking my swag bag yesterday. It wasn't a swag bag. It was just all the little gifts and stuff that people gave me, and I just burst into tears. Just immediately. Just burst into tears. It's hard. It's crazy. It's you go from the pure dopamine of just interacting with people for 5 days straight, your best friends on call, within arm's reach, getting FaceTime. There was a solid 2 days straight where I would glance over and see Whitty, and I'm like, this is so surreal. She's real. She's right here. She's not a face on my screen. And the same goes for Malev and Chromatic and so many other people. It did feel like coming back from camp, like Noah said. I mean, Woody, do you feel the same way? Like, first day, I just feel like I kept looking over at you and being like, what's happening? Hello there. This is so wild. Hi, Clute. Good to see you. Clute, thanks for sending your compatriot over to send me home with some Hangry Games minis. That's pretty cool. I'm excited to show those off here. But
Stronger,
just so you guys have context,
that's our motto.
Check this out. This is a regular sized model next to, this is like a dryad from Warhammer, next to one of these micro minis. He's just a little guy. It's a minis mini. So today and tomorrow we're going to be painting these guys. So I'm really focusing on not rushing through these. Witty, thank you for the biddies. Oh my gosh. Spark, thanks for the biddies too. Look at you guys catching some fishies. It's like an action figure for the other minis. Yeah, exactly. So the story of Buttons and Bugs. And I want to share something else really fun with you. So the game itself is literally to scale. I don't remember what the scale is, what the exact scale is, but these are to scale. It's the same size as the Gloomhaven box, but shrunk down. So the story is that the Quattrals have accidentally shrunk down all of the mercenaries from Gloomhaven. And so this is a solo Gloomhaven, and it's this teeny tiny little box. But if you like hold it up to the Gloomhaven box, it's like legitimately, it's to scale perfect. It's so funny. Yeah, they're definitely 10 or 15 mil. It might be 15 actually, because I think I saw 10 mil this weekend. Spark, it's so cute. I'm really excited to be painting these. They asked me to paint them a couple months ago, and I was glad to say yes. So here we are. Yeah, it's a solo game, about 20 minutes per session. So I think it's time. I think it's time to start working on these guys. But we're not gonna work on them at this level. We're gonna work on them at this level, and I'm gonna need your guys' help to make sure that I'm keeping them on stream, because it's gonna be tricky, to say the least. It's going to be very tricky. I put my glove on too, so that like it's not gonna like blow out the color. Playing with myself with something small. I plead the oh my god, Sebastian. It's great because you know what else is a really good solo game? No, I'm just kidding. All right, so one of the pieces of advice that I got, don't move your palette. Good idea, Noah. I like that a lot. And I'm sorry, everybody. Chat is moving so fast, and I'm so excited to see you all. So if I don't catch what you're saying, don't be afraid to say it again. I will not be offended. I'm just so excited to see you all so much, and I think it's time to start painting. So one of the pieces of advice I got from somebody in a Discord server that I'm in that paints a lot of 10mm scale minis was saying to really truly focus on contrast and not making like gradual jumps between colors, because you lose a lot of those transitional spaces with something so small. Ease of transport 10 to 15 minis is so tempting, but oof, so difficult to see anything. Someone came up to Malev this weekend while we were at the Black Site booth, and I think it was Hero of Canton. Yeah, it was Hero of Canton came up to Malev and gave him this Altoids tin that when you flip it open, it's a small magnetized version, a playable version of Demon Ship inside of the tiny Altoids can. It was so funny. I mean, it's really hard to play, but it was so cool. It was awesome. It was awesome. Creators that make solo games are quite brilliant and cool, I always say. Yeah, I say that too. Although after this weekend, I'm thinking I might be billing Siren's Watch as a co-op experience as well, because the amount of people like came up as strangers but would work through the game together, like the turns that I set up. They had a lot of fun with it, so I think I might just start billing it as a co-op game as well. Also, Noah, to answer your question, this is all like Nintendo music. It's all DMCA free. Just like cool co-op music. The only other thing I bought this weekend, other than like a bust, was these new paints from Big Child Creatives. Everybody was talking a lot about them, so I grabbed a little bit, like a small set of them to try them out. So I figured now's as good a time as any, Hey, JD, what's up? We got some great feedback from the Hunger Games demos. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's an interesting bottle. Their other line in this like lineup of paints is called ammo paints, and I was like, it kind of looks like a shotgun shell, so that might be on purpose. I don't actually know. So I don't know if you guys saw. I don't know if you guys saw my TikTok or my reel. I mean, they're the same video, but the reason I had the reason there was so much footage and photos of Woody is because like I would turn around and I'd see her demoing and just get footage of it so that we could share footage. And also I was fortunate enough to get to spend a lot of time with her this weekend, which was awesome. This year we'll be hanging out a lot more, hopefully at cons, but until now it's been a year since we've seen each other. So did I get the Rogue Hobbies Pro Curl set? I didn't get any new Pro Curl this weekend. I wasn't quick enough to get to the booth because I'm pretty sure they sold out the first day, and we were demoing day one. So, Sebastian, the interesting thing about this set was that they were only $40, and it came with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 paints, which ain't bad. Yeah, Monument Hobbies is the real con race booth. True. But no, I got to talk to Jason and Baby J a little bit, and yeah, they were crushing it this weekend. They were crushing it. I remember that too. Yeah, they had to get stuff emergency shipped in. Got a lot of stuff at that booth. It's a good choice. I like their paints. How many ml are they? 20 ml. So I talked to a lot of people that said it was like some of the best numbers they've done at a con this past weekend, which is great. I mean, that bodes very, very well for so many companies we love. But I think the biggest surprise and get of the weekend, well, not surprise, the biggest get of the weekend was getting my beloved Series 33s from Rosemary & Company. I got about 5 of these bad boys, courtesy of the one and only Opcost Games, who had them sent over with Jared from Caffeinated Miniatures, dear friend of mine, and they coordinated to make sure that I got them at the convention because I've been dying without my beloved brushes. There were so many kind gifts and like thoughtful little presents and people buying coffee and dinners and all sorts of just really, really sweet, thoughtful things. I've literally spent, like, I'm not the kind of person that spends a lot of time in the quiet, but I haven't listened to a single thing since I've gotten home. I've just sat in the quiet, just thinking, which is a new experience for me, but something I've been really, really relishing. Just so I can like feel things and unpack things and just sort of appreciate the experience for what it was, you know. Dirty Down Goblin's Hut had the best year ever. You know what I got from them? I got a little secret vial from them. If folks are anything like me, getting real sick of social media and looking for fun stuff in the meat space. Oh my gosh, yeah. Did you get one of the James Waffle brushes? I did not. The cup is full. And also terribly, terribly empty. I have this weird dichotomy where I desperately want to socialize more, but I have absolutely no energy to do so. Like my brain is seeking the dopamine that comes with being in people's presence, but no desire whatsoever to actually do that. So it's been this weird balance I've been trying to strike of, talking with people and going from like answering messages, posting on Instagram, stuff like that, to being like, okay, I'm done. I need to not talk to anyone for like the next hour or so. It's an interesting balance, and I'm learning it. That's why I lurk. Yeah. I've been doing my best to be responsible about it. Because you kind of do need to come down. You need to come off of that like that con high a little bit. Because being with all those people for such a long but also short amount of time Dan, hi. Speaking of amazing people I got to see this weekend, Druids also got to see this weekend. Druids, thank you for the resub for 11 months. You can play Fortnite with me and... Oh my god, Noah, that would be really, really nice. Passenger Princessing home was the best thing coming off of 2023. I was able to just zone out with the whole ride back to Houston. Could use the rural America no data excuse. It's not a bad idea. Quietly body doubling. Honestly, Cribbit, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. And I'm glad that I'm like doing this stream and like painting these minis, because I don't really feel like that right now. Like, again, it's this weird dichotomy. My brain and my body are telling me two very different things. And so, like, I haven't painted since I left for Adepticon, and I desperately want to, but I'm also like, but the energy it would take is just so much. And so I'm glad that, like, I have kind of an obligatory reason to paint now, because otherwise I might not be doing it. And, you know, it's something that is mostly for fun and kind of low stakes and a little bit interpretive. So there's not like a hard set rule for how these need to look, but I am going to be following pretty closely the examples that are on the cards that came in the box. DNix, I have not gotten to play yet. No, I just got back from Adepticon 2 days ago, so I've been unpacking mostly and resting a bunch. I've been trying to sleep a decent bit and just catch up on sleep, because I think the last 2 days of Adepticon, I think I got 6 hours over 48. So that was interesting. Haven't painted in 6 months. My Titan Weapon Saga is becoming a truly ridiculous tale. Oh gosh. Hi AZ. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. All right. So again, the advice I was given was, you know, to make some rather big jumps. Make some rather big jumps in color here, because the contrast is going to get lost in the mix if we try to keep it toned down too much. So we're gonna try to make some color jumps. Is that from OG Gloomhaven? No, this is from Buttons and Bugs. We're painting Buttons and Bugs today. I hope Adepticon was fun. It was so much fun. It was too much fun, arguably. Malev, hey, what's up? Hi, good to see you. Malev's another person I had the pleasure of spending quite a bit of time with this weekend. It's so funny because the people that like I spent the most time with, I felt like I saw the least, in a weird backwards kind of way. Because if I saw them a lot, it meant we were doing things like obligatory things together in addition to social things. And so it was like, as much as we spent time around each other, there was still this feeling of like not actually being together, you know? When you do play, you need to jump on Call of Board and discuss that in Sirens Watch. I could very well do that. I hope everybody's ready for me to just make Sirens Watch my entire personality over the next few months, because that's all that's going to happen. Hell yeah, Noah. Here's your here's your Animal Crossing cover song. I found that you know, when I was telling people the lore about Sirens Watch, they were very attentive. And I would be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for like just like info dumping at you." And they're like, "No, it's okay. It's okay. I want to hear it." So they were very kind. They were very kind to listen to it. Also, I can't say much about it. But while I was at the con, the only reason I can't say much about it is because the person who submitted it requested that I just, you know, we don't say anything for now. But I got my first piece of fan art ever. Like ever for my stream, ever for anything I've created. I got my first piece of fan art from the community while I was at the con. And it was for Sirens Watch, which was so cool. It was such an emotional moment. I was like, what the heck? Because like even the official art hasn't been done yet. There's no art technically for Sirens Watch. At least not yet. And KK Slider never misses. That's right, Woody. That's right. Listen to him go. The KK Slider voice weirds you out.
But yeah, I received a picture from one of our community members that made some Sirens Watch fan art. And it was just such a, I mean, it was honestly, again, it was like a very emotional moment. The thing is, like, all these things would have been very emotional in a normal setting, but like being sleep deprived and also like not eating a lot just made it so much more acute. So much more acute. I realized I didn't get any time to go bits hunting. I really was hoping to go some of the vendors and like look for bits and stuff. But failed to do so. That's okay. Because all the things I did, you know, I was trying to be very deliberate with myself all weekend about checking in and thinking, like, am I doing the things I want to do with the people I want to be with? And almost 100% of the time, the answer was yes. So it was very much a trip where I tried to enjoy myself just as much as I was working. You know, I did not do the meat grinder. I was there for it one night, but it was just it was a throng of people. I couldn't get to the front, so it's hard to explain Conbrain if you've never had it. Truly chromatic is. It truly is. Like Conbrain is so weird. I had to finish up your mini Jamie collect. Oh my gosh, yeah. I guess no, technically Hack made the first fan art. I guess if you count Bronco McBuff. Was the fan art rule 34? No, it was not. I had a mini ready for it, but I never made it. I was there with mini in hand. I even had $1. I had my dollar out ready to go. Just was crazy. I couldn't get to the front. I couldn't push myself to the front of the line. So we're going in with some semi-thin paints here, okay? The paint itself it's fine if it's not covering in one go, just because I'm going to go back over it with another coat here and there. But the goal again is to make sure that the contrast that we're maintaining is significant. You know, I want the balance between light and dark to be really, really evident, because there's not a lot of surface area for us to develop those transitional colors that we would normally want in between the lowest, the brightest, and darkest. So we have to make some really kind of we have to make some kind of serious jumps in contrast in order to maintain the visual interest that we would normally acquire by doing successive layers, building up color in between, or from our darkest to our lightest spots. It feels so surreal to be painting. I literally brought all my painting stuff. I didn't step foot once. I didn't step once into Fort Wapple. Didn't even go in there. Cephalofair, hello friends, how's it going? I'd elbow 4 children in the head to get to meat grinder. Oh my gosh, Painterly Good, I didn't realize you did it. That's awesome. Did you enjoy yourself? I got to sign 3 autographs this weekend. That was the first time I ever did that too. Painterly Git was one of them. Painterly Git, thank you again for making me feel so special. Painterly Git was so sweet to me this weekend. Brought some amazing gifts and goodies from the Great White North. And for so many people. I mean, truly such a kind-hearted person. So awesome to meet you in person. Can't thank you enough for the thoughtful gifts, the kindness. Yeah, right, Woody. Absolutely. Oh, hey, Rachel. I missed Rachel so much. I feel like I've talked at her since I got home. Save my candy to share with my partner. Aw. Okay, so we're starting pretty simple here. We're going with this ochre color up against the brown of the skin here. The skin itself, again, according to our photo reference here, is going to be more of like a tan. Damn it, Sebastian. I missed y'all so much. So it's kind of, the color is really warm on the camera, but it reads as kind of a tan color.
I always save treats. I do too. I always bring home a little something, a little extra, like a goodie or something that someone gives me. I bring some home for Rachel. But this time, the only goodies I brought home candy wise were Mike and Ike's, and she doesn't like those. So I know it. Isn't it so cool? Isn't it so fun? Oh my god, my drunk self misspelled my name, and now I must wait. No. Oh no. It says you're a new person, but I'm assuming you might not be. And to remind everybody, I'm still kind of losing my voice. So I'm doing my best. But I have my little smoky voice right now. So there are some textures on the head here because the Cragheart is kind of a rocky fella. So I'm not necessarily painting specifically to follow those textures. I'm just not being very precious about hitting every single spot because I want to use the paint to also bring out some of those textures a little bit. And normally where I would like focus on trying to get some specificity in the placement of these colors, I'm letting there be like gaps in between them because again we want to be able to draw out some of that contrast by making these huge jumps from one color to another in order for it to show better on these smaller minis. So the big key again is just like not worrying so much about perfect blends and doing more of like a very just deliberate addition of color in very specific textures and patterns. So I'm letting there be small bits of brown, the base color that that are peeking out in between these little swipes of tan. Because once it may look silly while we're doing it, but once it's all said and done, it's gonna give it that rocky appearance, and it's gonna read really well, especially next to the yellow, since these colors are so similar in hue. It may not stand out very well, so we're focusing on trying to create a distinction between those two colors. Again, on such a small miniature. So it's all kind of about trusting the process here. Let's see. Just booked your salute ticket. Ooh. I was thespian of plastic. Oh, you're a lurker. Hi, lurker friend. Well, I'm glad you said hi. Strepsils, Jamie. When you're losing your voice, eat Strepsils by the package. Throat lozenges for the win. I've been on those since the weekend. I've never heard of those before. Never heard of those before. It didn't help that the hotel was like the driest environment I've ever been in. I never get chapped lips, and my lips were so chapped the whole weekend. And like I had a really bad nosebleed one night coming down the elevator. Big shout out to Allison Silverhair and her husband for finding me in my distress and dragging me to their room to bleed all over their bathroom sink. That was a unique experience. I was on the elevator and people kind of came onto the elevator and just sort of walked around me while I was bleeding. I mean, they were still very concerned, of course, and they were like making sure I was okay, and we were all kind of trying to figure out what the heck to do. And we got to the next floor, and luckily my friend Allison Silverhair and her partner were there, and they like dragged me over to their room to clean up and bleed in peace. It was really dry. It was really, really dry. It's got to do so many cool things with so many cool people. I think that's why it's been so hard to readjust to coming back, is because like really just prioritizing my experience in a way that I haven't before at conventions, where I tend to focus on well, I guess not strictly prioritizing my experience. I still very much demoed and did other things for work and whatnot, but just in a lot of ways sort of did what I wanted to at times. Blood. I carry a cola at all times. I normally do too, Noah. I had to rehydrate my wet palette hourly when I was painting at Fort Wapple. It was so dry, Painterly Good. It was so dry. Finally got my Army Painter War Paint Fanatics. Ooh, do you like them? Those are the only colors I brought with me, Aaron, to Adepticon. I split a lip opening my mouth to brush my teeth. I was so chapped. Oh my gosh. Blood. I'm so excited to just like see everybody's Adepticon wrap-ups and hear all the cool stuff that people enjoyed looking at and trying out, and it was just such a fun time. It's hard reintegrating into civilian life after such a cool weekend. Definitely putting a first aid kit on my list. Oh yeah, that's not a bad idea. There's a couple things we were really talking about. One big thing, Cribbit, was a ring light, because the lighting in that hotel was garbage. Feels great to have the work of mixing clearly labeled. So much less anxiety about. Oh my gosh, the labels on those are a triumph. I want to see those labeling systems on every paint brand going forward. It is easily the standout experience of that paint. But again, I want to remind everybody that we're going to be doing this tomorrow too, so I'm trying to just take my time on this and just sort of be very deliberate about this. Try to enjoy the process a little bit. You know, one of the things, talking about competition minis and whatnot, one of the things I was talking to people about is, you know, like, do we get to a point where we're painting stuff where we just don't enjoy it? And if that's the case, why do it? You know? If you're not having a good time, why bother? So much Aquaphor. I used Neutrogena Hydro Moisturizer when I trained in Las Vegas. I was so dry that even my very oily skin was thirsty. Oof. Love them. Feels great to have the work of mixing clear. Oh, I already read that. Whoops. I lucked out. I was at Fort Wapple when they did swag dumps. I got a handful of minis and 27 bottles of Huge Minis. Painterly Get. Huge Minis paint is some of my favorite. I love it. I love Huge Minis paint. I saw that in your photo. I was going to say something about it. Curious what it would look like to setting up lights in an area to film and just let people book me. Cribbit, Uncle Adam had a really, really great time taking like headshot photos for content creators last year. He just set up in that long hallway between the free play area and Fort Wapple, and just had, when we would walk by, he would flag us down and just be like, "Hey, come try this out." Let's see here. I need a very specific paint, but that's okay. I can't find it right now. We're going to test the limits of this new Big Child Creative paint. Let's see how far we can thin it down. For anyone who's new here, came over with the the Cephalofair. If you came over for the advertising that they've been doing, I stream here from Tuesday through Friday, usually from 1 till about 5 p.m. And we're always painting minis, just hanging out, talking about motivation, all the different things that go into being a mini painter. I myself am a professional mini painter. I'm also a game designer. I do tutorial content on YouTube for board game minis, as well as, painting pretty much every stream here on my channel. If you have questions about what I do, how I do it, now's the time to ask. I'm also a painting instructor. I'm going to be teaching about darn near 40 classes across the U.S. this year at different conventions. I love sharing that knowledge with people and just sort of getting to talk mini painting and creativity with other artists and people who want to be artists. The cool thing is, if you want to be an artist, you're already pretty much there. So, if y'all have questions or anything about the process, what I did to prep these minis, how we got here, meaning of life, those sort of things, Ask away, my friends. Ask away. All right, so I went through and I gave it a wash. I washed everything back down a little bit to this like brownish color. So some of these, the thing with smaller minis, and the same goes for anything with a lot of texture. Fun fact, Jamie's also great at to talk to and gives good hugs. Oh, thank you. Will this be available to watch on YouTube? Absolutely. I can transfer this over to YouTube if you would like. I would love to do that. That's why I opted for the Fanatics line. Mixing was too hit or miss, but now it's just slap all the paints on the palette and go. Yeah, that's true, Aaron. That's true. Only tried it at Adepticon. I painted up the Goblin Mini from Sam's basing class. I really like it. Yeah, the huge minis paint is nice. You can really you can really like stretch it. It's a very thick, like almost artist grade acrylic, and you can really stretch it to do whatever you want it to do. It's kind of nice. Little 50-50. Hi, Decoy. How are you? Good to see you, my friend. I had a feeling we may, see some new people in here today, whether it's from folks I met at Adepticon or folks that we are bringing over with the Gloomhaven stream. So don't be a stranger. If you'd rather lurk, that is fine as well. We have a very lurky-worky stream here, so we're no strangers to people just hanging out in the background. We love our lurkers so much. Zambies. Hi, Zambies. I miss you so much. I miss you so much. Congratulations again, my friend, on all of your wins this weekend. The biggest win of all is getting to spend it with you, so I appreciate you. It was so good to hang out with you this weekend. Didn't happen nearly enough. But we'll make it work. We'll make it happen. You're the best. It was so nice to hang out with you. Gotta bounce, but lovely seeing you again, Jamie. Thanks for the space, and hope you can rest up soon. Thank you, Aaron. I really appreciate that. Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back at our normal schedule on next week. Workday background entertainment. Yeah, exactly, Lithgow. We're no strangers to lurk. Also, come back tomorrow for more of these tiny dudes. That's right. Gloom buds. Zambies. Zambies is also a good hugger. That feeling where you have just enough conversion bits for 4 out of the 5 minis you want to convert. Oh no! Latina, what are you converting? What you converting? You cavorting and converting? Is that what happened? Alright, so I think the big struggle. Hi, Runic! I better be recovering. I am trying my darndest, Runic. I'm trying. I'm not doing so perfect at it, but I'm not going to let that stop me. I hope you are too. So, big thing is, this is such a close color to the rocky skin. This has a little bit more pinkish tones to it, so I might go through and add like a little bit more pink to it than it should actually have. But because they're so small, the advice I was given was really push that contrast. So let's do that. It's been quite lonely over here on Mini Painting Twitch while you were all gone. Aw. You did not miss any Pokemon, no. FEC Crypt Ghouls, the new Crypt Guard models. Ooh. Ooh, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, take your mental health very seriously this week, guys. If you were at a con, like, just really try to rest up as much as you can. I know this is, like, very much a do as I say, not as I do situation, because I'm streaming right now. But this was planned before I left for the con. I knew this was coming. And, I'm still going to be doing things as best I can to rest up. As part of the process of kind of getting through this week. So listen to your bodies. Listen to your brains most of all. I think the brain is the hardest thing to recover with. Just because you're, if you think about it, you're going from these environments where you're just nonstop interacting with people you love. and then diving back into your routine that you almost basically forgot about because you've been gone for so long. And it's easy to kind of fall into, the despair of being back where you started without anything changing. But it's important to remember that, things may take a minute to take off. You never know what sort of things were kind of like put into motion while you were gone, in a good way, of course. Reconnect with the people that you met, remind them how much you enjoyed meeting them and their company. That's a really great way to like kind of recover a little bit. You guys didn't warn me the existential crisis I would feel. Oh gosh, yeah, it's bad. PDART, post-drop Adepticon recovery team. That's right. Yeah, check in with each other, Check in with each other. This is Water Flame. I've never heard of them before. Yeah, check in with each other. But also, give each other space if they need it. Don't be afraid to ask for reassurance from your friends. Because it's a weird feeling. It's a weird, weird feeling. Yeah, watch streams if you find that you're more of the person that needs quiet, but you still want to have some sort of like social connection with people. Do things that are nostalgic, eat foods that you really love. Do things to kind of replace that dopamine of being around everybody as much as you can. Movin'! Hi, Movin'. It was so cool to see you. I want to put this little mini in my pocket. You can. You can put this in your pocket. It doesn't matter how small your pocket is. You could easily fit that little dude in there. Okay, so you want to see my favorite part about this, you guys? So the game is called Buttons and Bugs. Every single one of the minis is standing on a little button. Come on, focus. They're all standing on little buttons. How cute is that? It definitely helped, Sebastian. It was good to catch up with you guys a teeny tiny bit. The contacts lens case, but instead of contacts, you like spill you put it in there next to Sean. Oh, he'll have a little buddy. I know, isn't it the cutest, Woody? Movin', I'm doing all right. How are you? We're just talking about kind of recovering from con drop. It's been a little bit of a rough go for me, but like being back in this space with you guys with all this like renewed vigor is really doing wonders for me. I was like a little worried about jumping right back into stream so soon, but I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good, and I have you guys to thank for that. Hear me out. You switch them to real, slightly bigger buttons. I thought about that. Working from home is not my jam. Aw. I'm sorry, Moobin. Well, I'm here to keep you company. And that goes for all of you. Whether you're unpacking, whether you're back to work, back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. I'm here for you. I'm here to hang out. I'm here to chill. We're going to be going until about 4 o'clock today. I know 4 o'clock is early for me, but you know what? I'm telling you, I got big ideas. I got big moves I'm trying to make. Feeling good and looking good. Hi, beautiful. Hi, champ. Hi, Steph. Y'all, so proud of Steph. Steph, you did so good in Resident Beast. I hope you're really proud of yourself. Hi, Mel. Thanks for the lurk. Spent half my morning with my hand glued together and a magnet glued to my knuckle. So I'm having a great day. Rascal's still feeling a little anxious if I go to the door. Oh, Painterly Git, I'm so sorry. But hey, think about it. If you punch something metal, you'll get to punch it a little extra hard because you're magnetized to it. You're going to be like, So if you're fighting any robots, they better look out, All right, so on the card, they're showing his belt has like a little design on it, and we're gonna paint the green around it. Like, you can't really see it. It's not really there on the mini, so we're gonna do our best to paint that on there. Yeah, +1 damage to all robotic creatures, or someone with a pacemaker. Oh my god, that's so dark, Noah. Yeah, we're gonna paint a little diamond onto this dude, or like the outline of a diamond onto this dude to make it look like his belt has a diamond on it, and then just kind of a pattern around that. I really was having a lot of fun. I was doodling a lot this weekend. I had so much fun doodling, and so I've decided, as part of this like kind of fun recovery approach, I'm going to try to set aside some time every single day to just doodle and have a good time, and just draw for fun, but with like in the quiet. So just like nothing on, no TV, no YouTube, no podcast, anything. I'm just going to sit in the quiet, and I'm just going to draw what comes to mind. Because as creative as like mini painting can be, I've definitely been getting the feeling that like it's just not hitting the spot for me for some reason. I think maybe the alternative to this might have been, we might have been better off painting it green first and then going in with the yellow. So I think I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to paint it all green. Paint it all green, then we'll go back in with the yellow and decorate, rather than the inverse, because it's proving to be kind of difficult. But yeah, I'm going to get better at drawing. It's not going to happen if I don't just do it. So that's the plan. And, I was a little bit nervous about posting what I drew last night on my story, but I did anyway. Because I figure, if I can do it with my minis, I can do it with my drawings. Let's see. Speaking of Steph, she was such an anxious mess when she submitted her thing, but I told her, and I did give her a very loving "I told you so" afterwards. I knew it, Move-In. She did such a great job. I feel things, and I think too much about it. I start crying. Yeah, same, Steph. Same. So I'm thinking I'm going to paint your model tomorrow. It'll be a nice welcome back to the brush. Good, Zams. I'm so excited to hear that. There's no preconceptions for it. You can paint it however you want. Not gonna lie, you said "Back to Life" and I started singing the Soul to Soul song. Back to reality. Got me to do some sketches for the first time in a while. Hell yeah. Yeah, I was hoping more people would draw in my con yearbook. I actually didn't get that many people to sign my con yearbook this year, and I'm a little sad about that. But I did get some real quality messages from both Sam's, Witty, and a couple other folks. I got a fun little drawing from Trent. That was fun. I got to meet and spend some decent time with Trent this year. That was something I was really looking forward to. So that was really nice. Just got to hang out with so many wonderful people. Such a good time. Okay, let me think about this. I see a little orange angel. Yeah, he's been glued to my side. Did Trent get his Twinkies? I don't think so. You know what? I passed some Twinkies in the store, and I'm like, maybe I should grab some just in case somebody doesn't. And nobody did. Happy Wednesday, Jamie. Thanks for spending it on our Micro Mercenaries. You are so welcome, Price. Thanks for the opportunity. We've been having a lot of fun sharing these guys. I'm taking my time with this one because I really want to go through and tease out a lot of this detail as much as I can. We're going a lot based on the card too. So as you can see, everybody, as I mentioned, like trying to really make those jumps in contrast so that it really stands out. Broke my paints out this week. I'm ready to tackle mine. Here for the inspo, 1000%. Price, that's so cool. I'm so glad to hear that. I can't wait to see what you do with it. Thank you to whoever gave that sub to Price. Thank you so much. Yeah, we decided to start off with Craig Hart, not for any particular reason. It just happened to be the one I grabbed, but y'all, Price and his team were kind enough to reach out to me to ask me to do this, and I could not have been more flattered. After streaming with them last summer, such a joy, such a delight. I love Gloomhaven. I love everything. Like Jaws of the Lion was so much fun. I can't wait to get some time set aside to play some Buttons and Bugs.
It's gonna be a good way to like chill after the con, I think, to like, you know, to spend some time with a solo game or something. I'm having this weird feeling where like I want to socialize so badly, but my brain is also just like I don't want to do all the things required to arrange that. So I've just been finding that it's like really valuable to just engage when I can in the ways that I can, you know, instead of worrying about making it happen. Just doing my best, you know. Is there an affiliate link? No affiliate link. No affiliate link butts, but we can probably get you a link. It's cool. It forwards the Pokemon fishing to the recipient if an Anon gifts a sub. Oh, that's cool. Oh, don't answer yet. Whoops. Didn't read that. I'll answer it again. When we're back. So again, the detail, obviously for minis this small, the tiny detail is like hard to, you know, to sculpt on. But we have the ability to paint it on, so that's what I'm doing here now. I'm painting the detail onto the belt as best we can. Figured today would be a good time for some video game music, get that nostalgia going. Zams, I'm excited you're going to be painting the Cathanodon stream tomorrow. If you want to talk about anything like beforehand, so you know people ask or anything, and I'll make sure I'm in chat as well, as for at least for a little bit, so I can answer any questions that come up. Yeah, I gave Zambies and a couple other creators their own copy of some of the minis to take home and paint on stream if they want to, or not. There's no obligation. It was just sort of like a fun little gift I was able to give my friends. They are such cute little minis, though. Little buddy. That's right. Thank you, Cribbit. Thank you. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Sorry about that. Talk about Adepticon for the first half and paint it in the second half. You're welcome to let me know. Whatever you would like, I can make a command too. Okay, cool. There's nothing yet to like support the game or anything like that. It's just sort of getting people talking, you know. Just building hype. Thank you, mods. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. Can we get some mod love in the chat? A lot of people think it's the streamers that work the hardest on Twitch. I say nay. Those mods. Speaking of mods, I got to hang out with Witty's mod Ben. You know, he's more than just a mod. He's a friend of mine. But it was still lovely to get to see him. It's always something I look forward to, getting to see sweet Ben, give him a big hug. We got to hang out quite a bit. It was nice. We got to have our little Adepticon New Year celebration, but with like more people. Last year was just Witty and I, but this year we shared it with the squad. It was really cool. We all shared some champagne at like 11 o'clock in the afternoon or in the morning. Yeah. Feel free to ask either Price or Cephalofair about the game if you guys have any questions about it. I heard a rumor Ben is a hug king. It's true. Yeah, it's just a plain mimosa. What's the inverse of like a virgin cocktail? That's what it was. Oh boy, it is dry in here. I'm gonna have to turn my humidifier on here in a second. Okay, so now that the wash that we put on him is starting to dry off a little bit. Oh, that's not quite the color I want. Let me figure this out here. That should do.
Break is ending. Bye, friends. Steph, thank you so much for dropping by. You're the best. Congrats again on your win. Way to go. Repping the Twitch mini painting community by crushing it in Resin Beast. You did such a good job with that model. I can't wait to keep going to contests and watching you crush it. It's 2 in a row now that I've seen you just blow everybody away with your work. It's awesome. You're the coolest. I love getting to hype my friends up. Could you tell? My favorite thing in the world. That's right. Dab, 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 dab. Just bringing a little bit of brightness to his forehead here so that your eye is kind of drawn to the face. So we're going to take some... I'm taking this pine box flesh color. And I'm gonna put it around his face, around the bottom of his mouth, top of his chest a little bit here, just kind of drawing the eye upward. Little bits here and there on the edges of the rocks, just to kind of, again, increase that contrast a little bit, like on his hands. We're gonna keep the middle part, so, you know, when I'm thinking of how I want to... When I'm thinking of how I want to highlight certain things on a mini, I always try to think of it as a bullseye or like a dartboard, right? So the thing you want to focus on is going to be a bright color. And then you kind of want a circle outside of that ring that's not as bright. And then another one outside of that that is, again, bright, but not too bright, that it draws away from the face. So, you know, I'm going to be dropping this color little spots here and there just to add a little bit of visual difference, especially where the lighting is going to hit the most. The one thing I like to tell people, you know, when it comes to lighting, if you don't know the first thing about it, that's okay. I have a really simple, really simple suggestion. If you're looking at the mini, you imagine a rainstorm happening around the mini, for example. Wherever the rain would hit first is going to be the brightest spot of your mini. Or, well, not the brightest, but that's consistently that's going to be where the lighting is the most intense. We need a crab dab emote. Oh, we can make that happen. We can make that happen. Yeah, if you ever have stream suggestions, you know we got a thread for that in the Discord. Okay, so I'm feeling like there's not enough contrast going on the little, like, tassels here. So I'm gonna paint some in a little bit. I want it to read a little bit pinker. A little pink. On the picture on the card, that is kind of what it looks like. So I'm gonna go back over it with a little bit of this pink, especially in the areas where there's going to be more shadow. We can highlight around that and have it be the foundation for our color, our highlighting there. This is more of a skin, like a flesh tone. That's how it reads on the photo too. So I'm not worrying too much when I do this about like overpainting in any area, because we're just going to go back and highlight that up again. So I'm not terribly worried about accidentally hitting spots that I didn't want to. There we go. So it doesn't read as pink if you look. Relativity of color is important here. When it's this small, you know, that it subtly reads as pink, as a skin tone a little bit. But compared to the, you know, to the rock around it, it's not as, you know, it's not as pink as it feels. You can imagine it's a crab dabbing. Hey, thanks, Painterly Get. I appreciate that. While that dries, I'm going to brighten up these pauldrons a little bit. We're going to keep going in with that yellow. I'm going to brighten it up a little bit with that same flesh color, or the pine box flesh color that we added. Again,
they're so small we don't need to do the normal like highlighting method that we would employ to make this look kind of like non-metallic metal, you know. Doug, hey, what's up? Can't wait till you paint the eyes. Oh, I'll be painting the eyes. You know, you think I'm not gonna paint the eyes? Who do you think I am? And if I wasn't before, now I'm definitely gonna do it. You've sufficiently goaded me. Doug, it was so cool to meet you in person again this year. I know we met last year briefly, but it's cool to hang out. Getting to hang out with the Blacksite crew this weekend was so much fun. Just such a great team. Got to go out to conveyor belt sushi with them, which I've never done before. That was such a cool experience, but also just laughed the whole time. It was so fun. So much fun. Such a hardworking crew. Hi, Rain. How are you? Good to see you, friend. Conveyor belt sushi place by me in Parma if you ever want to show it. Oh, dang. Chris, thank you for letting me know that. I didn't know that. I feel like there were still people I didn't get to meet or just saw on page. Oh, absolutely, Zambies. Absolutely. Got to break out the single whisker brush. You know I do have whiskers. You know I do. She makes them herself from locally harvested cat whiskers. Price, I have used whiskers. It's the only reason I have cats, you know. Locally sourced. Farm to table. So normally, you know, we would be focused on trying to make this non-metallic metal have these like really nice blendy colors, but not so. We don't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about blending. At this size, nobody's going to notice. These would be great for a 4-color palette, to be honest with you, because you don't really need much else than that. Should almost like reserve it, like keep yourself from using that many. Okay, and for the last color for these highlights, for the gold, I'm gonna use a bone color. We're not even gonna go all the way up to white. Normally I would, with non-metallic metal, I would consider approaching white, but I don't think we need to. I don't think we need to here. But again, I'm going to do it kind of sparingly here, just like little taps of it here along the edges of the metal. Don't want to put too much of it there because it's going to kind of ruin the illusion if it's taking up too much space. And it's okay if it looks kind of scratchy because that kind of helps sell the effect. That's one of the few things I like about non-metallic metal is it's almost better if you don't try super hard at it. I think it's one of those things where if you're going to try really hard at it, you got to go in all in. You got to try really, really hard. But if you do like a little bit of trying, you can get a lot out of it. Fun fact, the minis and games micro table presents were inspired heavily by our Mighty Max and Polly Pocket toy lines of our childhoods, as well as the miniatures from Lucky Duck's Destiny's board game line, which reminded us that sometimes less is more. We talk about that. I talk about Mighty Max
and Polly Pocket, like, way more than I expected to in my adult life. I love that so much. That's amazing. I know I just said I'm not going to blend a lot, but here we are. I'm blending. I need to not be doing this. Silly Jamie. I love that idea, though. That's so fun. Love the original Polly Pocket. They got real weird in recent years. Oh, no. Real weird how? I love that little fun fact. Okay. I guess if we are going to put a little extra work into anything, like one feature on each mini probably isn't the worst idea in the world. So for this one, it'll be these pauldrons. I'm not going to beat myself up too much about spending a little extra time on it. So adding some of this like same white that we used for the gold into that skin color, that'll give us the highlights we need for... I thought that's what this beat was. So just hitting the very tops and the very bottoms of each of these little tassels. This is so funny that KK Slider has come up so much on this playlist. This is going to be one of those instances where we're kind of painting in the detail as necessary. Obviously, at this size, it's a lot harder to tease out detail. So in this case, I'm almost doing what I would do if I were painting fur, because the you know, the waist that this guy is wearing is kind of cloth strips almost. So, hey Ruel, what's going on, friend? How are you? So good to see you. Tarzan, long time no see. No idea KK Slider did Balloon. Well, apparently he does. This is an artist called Clay K Slider, which is really cute. Hey Sammy, what's going on? I don't know if anyone remembers that TMNT made toys in that scale too. What? No, I didn't. They made a big-headed skinny body stylized instead of realistic. Weird. Mighty Max is one of my favorite things to collect as a kid. I still have most of my collection. My kids have regifted me over the years. And who amongst us didn't have at least X1 Star Wars Micro Machine vehicle? That's true. That's true. Those Star Wars Micro Machines were awesome. Clay K Slider. So funny. Hey, Time Roller. Good to see ya. So here's where we're at. I feel like this guy's almost done. Damn it, Sebastian. And just to give you a reminder of scale here, this is a regular Warhammer mini. Next to this. This is a Dryad. Next to this Micro Mini. This is 32 mil base. Don't talk to me or my son ever again. Bennett, hi! Bennett, hello, I miss you. Getting ready for work, sort of. Well, don't get out of bed too quick, you know? Full zoom out? Of course you can, Sebastian. Of course you can. Ta-da. Do you want like a full zoom out? Okay. I love this song. Man, shout out to Animal Crossing for getting us all through the pandemic, huh? Isn't that crazy? Sebastian, look at this thing. You know, it's a good thing you're not Minimancer anymore, because I'd be having you paint one of these, you know? How wild is that? Good on them. Like, honestly, it's such a cool idea to do this. And like, honestly, again, in such a small package, like literally my favorite thing in the world are small box games. And to get like a Gloomhaven experience in a small box game is just makes me wish I played solo games more. I really should. But, you know, here we are. Maybe I'll do it more. Sort of had to wait months for a Switch. Oh no. Noah, no. What do you guys think for the button? Should we paint it green to match his waist? I feel like maybe we should. I know I said I was going to turn on my humidifier. I need to do that still. Green for sure. Hell yeah. Let's do it. That's one of my favorite things about these minis, that each of the bases that they're on, they're not bases, they're little buttons. The game's called Buttons and Bugs. It's literally standing on button. How cute is that? So clever. Come to expect nothing less. Price, do you guys ever get tired of just putting out banger after banger? I know I wouldn't. Like, seriously though, I mean, taking a jump, an innovative jump is always such a nerve-wracking thing. You just never know how things are going to go. But nothing changes if you don't. So, I mean, I think it's cool that in our industry there's a lot of that happening. It's really, really nice. Man, all these songs are bringing me back. More coming soon. Oh, I love to hear that. Each is a unique button. That's true. That's true. Snotling Green. Bring it back old school. Less nerving when you're doing... That's true. That's true. You guys are awesome. Thank you. There's a little crag heart. You're right, Samsara. Here, let me... Oh my god, this is good. This is fun. I'm saving this one. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to turn on my humidifier real quick. I remember this song would be like when I would start playing every day, because the songs were like time based. I would turn on the game, and this was the song that would always come on. You know what, Bryce? I couldn't agree more. That's how I feel about what I do. You know, it's like it's not always the most consistent and reliable thing, but you know, it is the coolest thing I've ever done. I enjoyed watching the Glass Cannon crew playing the Gloomhaven RPG last year at Gen Con. Excited there's a solo option. That is awesome. I love to hear that, Noah. 5 p.m. early evening jam was so funky. Oh, I'd have to figure out which one that is. It's making me want to pick it up again. Are the monsters cardboard standees like Gloomhaven? No, Sammy, the cool thing about the monsters is they're literally all bugs. All the mercenaries have been shrunk down. The Quattral scientists have spent too much time asking if they could, not enough time asking if they should. And they've shrunk all the mercenaries down to the size of buttons and bugs. And unfortunately, those bugs are probably curious and, without a doubt, a little hungry. I don't know. I just think it's very clever. I think going through the process of making my first game, it's been really fun, but also intimidating, like knowing that all of the story writing, all that stuff falls on me. So anytime that somebody takes a creative risk like this, does something cool and innovative and new, it's so cool. It's so cool. And that's not necessarily an experience everybody has, of course, but I think it's one that we can kind of talk about and empathize with and share, even if you never, make your own game or write a story or anything like that. There's something so fascinating and also so intense and scary about writing your own game. Honey, I shrunk the miniatures. All the monsters are now colored cubes. Yeah, tiny bug baddies. I'll pull out the cards here in a little bit. We can look at them. Need a copy, and I should probably play Gloomhaven and Frosthaven and Jaws to justify the cost of buying them. Absolutely, Sammy. Absolutely.
If you guys do, you should share it in the Discord. I want to see what y'all are doing, especially if you're painting those minis. Price, before I left Gamma this year, I pitched a panel to teach both at Origins and on their webinars. A panel specifically geared towards using miniature painting to re-engage your community, because I feel like a lot of people in the board gaming space are not using this this hobby to its potential. Same doubly so for Twitch. I feel like there's not enough faith put in Twitch and all the wonderful, amazing streamers, board gaming streamers that there are on this platform. So thank you for, being evidence to support my my claim in these things, like supporting these kind of ideas and campaigns and outreach programs. Such a good idea. I know I'm biased, but still, Order after I move, getting shipped. Oh yeah, in Limbo a little bit, yeah. Oh yeah, I gotta get a copy of Jaws. I have Gloomhaven and Frosthaven, but not Jaws. I played a little bit of it. I guess you don't really need it if you have Gloomhaven, but it is like a nice toned down, like a little bit more accessible version of Gloomhaven. You know what I should do? I have the minis I painted last summer on my shelf. I should go grab those and show you a side-by-side comparison. Do have a giant miniatures line coming. Would love to chat more about the thoughts you shared on the panel sometime. We'll have a lot of cool ways to engage our existing and new communities. I would love that. More than anything, trying to establish myself as a voice, an authority for miniatures in the board gaming space, just because I find that that's a need. There's a need for that. So there's a lot of minis. I'm putting out a video series for Final Girl here, probably this week or next week, and one of two videos. There's one of a detail paint and one of a quick paint, and the quick paint is like a sun drop method that I've taught on that video, and that would be the perfect candidate for something like 600 minis. So here is compared to a normal size Gloomhaven mini. Oh, this is a Frosthaven mini, I'm pretty sure, if I recall. This is the one I painted last summer on those 2 streams I did. And the interesting thing is, and we can try this if you guys want to see. Hi, Romer, welcome in. Thanks for saying hello. If you guys want to see, I can demonstrate the sun drop method on one of these minis. That way, if you're not somebody who City Guard of Riz, right? Look at that, like that flamboyant hello color. What's up, Broken Posture? Welcome in. Yeah, if you guys want to, I can demonstrate with one of these minis, the micro minis, the like the sun drop method. We can do that here on stream if you want. Harrison would be proud of that night skirt. I agree. Yeah, why not? Let's try it. Let's do one of them. So the method that I used, sun drop's like a style that you see in a lot of like Kickstarters and stuff. It's just a really simple kind of like wash based method, but I put my own little twist on it that I kind of enjoy. Sun drop it like it's hot. Hell yeah, let's do it. Okay, let's take which one do we want to do? Let's do this guy. This is a great candidate for it because it's got a lot of texture on him. Now, I wouldn't necessarily normally recommend doing
slap chop method on these. I know it seems intuitive to use contrast style paints on these small minis. But the detail in them is hard to pick out. And contrast really relies on a lot of like dense detail to work correctly. So instead of that, we're going to try the sun drop method, and I'll show you how to do that here right now. Let's do it. So I'm going to take just a regular dry brush. I'm going to put this on a different base so that I don't get dry brush all over my painting handle. I'm going to just use the leftover bone color that we have from the last mini we painted. And again, this is just like it's just a very high contrast dry brush that we're doing here. So it started out as black. We're just going to go over it with this bone white color and just get him all contrasted up. This is like, okay, I guess we're just not going to use the base. This is similar to, your slap chop method that you've probably seen a million times. We're just going for lots and lots of brightness, because that's going to help translate really well when we do go in with the wash that we're going to use for this sun drop style. Now, the cool thing about this is, like, normally the sun drop style, you end up painting the whole mini one specific way. But because they're on these cute little buttons, we could always paint the button a different color still too, So just hitting it with that contrast, with that dry brush rather. This is kind of more of like a slap chop method. I'm going to bring a little bit more attention to the face, the hands, the weapon, the shield, by going back in with a little bit more of that paint than I did before. And like very deliberately top to bottom, specifically top to bottom. So now you can see the face and the shield, even from this distance, you can see it standing out, right? That's what we want. That's the goal we're going for here. That's what we want, right? Because the next step is the most important part. The whole thing's pretty important, really, for keeping score. We are painting it after all. I'm from Mexico. Last year I painted I started my painting minis hobby. I also have Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion board game and love it. Love to watch other people enjoying this wonderful art. Romer, thank you so much for saying that and introducing yourself. I really, really appreciate that. And I want to welcome you to the community. If you enjoy mini painting, I do it 4 days a week here on stream. And I teach all over the US. Love getting to demonstrate stuff for folks. If you want to join the Discord, that's another great way. Thank you for the follow. And that goes for anyone else if you're here in chat because of the Gloomhaven event today. Please consider dropping a follow. Feel free to hang in the Discord, share your paint jobs, and ask questions. Absolutely. Absolutely. I find that I teach a lot of new folks to mini painting, so I'm always open to, at any time during stream, I'm open to questions about mini painting. So what color do you think we should do for this guy? Because here's the thing. What we're going to do, now that we've got this really high contrast color on here, I want you to imagine that we went through and we did this prep work on all of the minis in the box, okay? There are 6 in total. Let's pretend we went through and did that to all of them. It took like what? Maybe a couple minutes to prep it without taking priming into consideration. Because I just want to show you why this method is one of my favorites and why it's such a powerful method, especially for painting things very quickly. So for the final girl mini, what I did was I did like a sepia color on the whole thing to kind of fit the horror aesthetic. Ruby red, okay, we could do that. We can do that. Does it change your opinion? Well, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Because on On the Final Girl minis, what I did was I did a sepia, and then I did the weapons in red. But I feel like that was to fit the horror aesthetic. And Gloomhaven obviously is not a horror game, so I think maybe we should go with red. Let's do ruby red. And then we'll do the weapons in blue. How does that sound? Allison, welcome in. Good to see you. So you could do this with a glaze consistency paint, or you could do it with like what we're doing right now with a wash. This paint already is a glaze, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to get it to thin down the way we want to. Oh, maybe not a horror game, but sometimes it's a pleasure living nightmare. Boy, I feel that, Romer. I've played a few sessions where I'm just like, oh god, what's happening? Hi, Luna. Yeah. I'm so excited to see you. Jared, I miss you too. Hi, friends. Boy, we got an influx of buddies. What's up, everyone? I think dogs should vote. Blades, hi! Oh my gosh. There's so many amazing people this weekend. Whoa, did everybody just get off the cool kid bus? Oh my god, is this Mr. Blue Sky with KK Slider? Answer is yes. I looked for you on the last day. Oh, Blades, I'm so sorry. I was so busy. This con was the busiest I've ever been. Okay, so I'm taking this burning vermilion color. Okay.
What's up, everybody? I think dogs should vote!
And we're going to paint it all over this dude, okay? Wanted your autograph. Oh, Blades, I'm so sorry. That's so sweet of you. I got asked for my autograph a few times this weekend. It was the most flattering thing ever. It was so sweet. All right, so I know we said we're going to paint the weapons blue, but I'm going to go over it with this anyway. It would be easier if you avoid it, but honestly, at this size, I don't think it's that big of a deal. We're going to be able to just go right over it. I'm not going to paint it deliberately if I can avoid it, but the other key is this works a lot better if you try to avoid using it like a wash, and I know that sounds counterintuitive because that's literally what we're doing right now is essentially washing this. Washes tend to want to collect in the gaps and stuff like that. You almost want this to behave more like a glaze so that all the upper areas make sure they get their dose of color. Because it's gonna make the final product a lot more eye-catching. We got pics and we got to chat. That's true. I finally got a new hobby light. I can't believe I'm basically painting in the dark. Oh my gosh, Luna. Did you get the Lucent? Which one did you get? I'm so glad to hear that. Do you feel like so much more powerful? Oh, I'm so glad to see you, Luna. I missed so many of you while I was away. I missed streaming a bunch. I was telling everybody earlier, I think the plan going forward, we'll see how this pans out. I think it's going to be an adjustment period while I figure it all out. But, you know, I'm not going to cut my streams necessarily, but I am going to cut the amount of time I spend on each one and really deliberately carve out more time for recording and editing more detailed, interesting, kind of story-based YouTube stuff. I want to push my YouTube this year. So one thing you can do is if you're finding that this like paint is collecting in a specific area and you don't want it to be there, like I don't want it to be behind his head. I want that to stand out a little bit. I'll show you up close here. So I don't want the paint to gather back here, right? I want that to be dark because that's like it's like where his hand and his neck meet and it's supposed to be dark. So I took my wet brush and I just kind of pushed it into that little gap back there to suck up all that extra moisture. So it pulls all that paint out of that area. And you can do that with other areas too. And this is not a necessary thing. It's just going to make the final product look a lot cooler. So trying to avoid the shadowed areas right here, like above the shield, that should remain shadowed. But it is going to try to gather there because, again, it's kind of like a wash, right? Right here in the little gap between his arm and the sword. Wherever it meets another thing, I'm trying to pull some of that color out of there because I don't want it to be super bright. I want it to be shadowed. It's going to make the whole effect, it's going to sell it a lot better if we let that shadow remain. And it may take another coat of this. You certainly could just leave it at like this if you wanted to. But again, taking it slow, trusting the process, we'll get through it in no time. I didn't for now. I have a very cheapy alternative to see how much I benefit compared to a ring light. Well, I'm glad it's feeling better already.
Two for the
Hawk!
Hello! Shall we get started? You bunch of newbies! I stand for justice, but we lost you there! Go me on! I am here!
Welcome in, welcome in. Thanks for ringing in. How's it going? How was stream today? Let's see. Miss you too. Never leave again. Haha, just kidding. Unless. Oh my god. Welcome in, Hawk. Thanks so much for the raid. How was stream today? I'm painting the Buttons and Bugs minis. Painting these teeny tiny micro minis. Alright, so again, with that paint that we thinned down to a glaze consistency, or actually it was a glaze consistency already, I thinned it even further than that, but I'm going to go back in with the glaze, the natural, like the flat glaze color, and just hit some of the more eye-catching areas. Thinking, again, remember how we were talking about that bullseye pattern? Kind of focusing specifically on the areas we want to be brighter than others. And it's okay to leave some of that like gray, the gray areas in, because that's going to be part of that's going to help with our contrast a lot. If you need like a dead simple, like where do I put this color? Wherever the brightest bits of that initial contrast layer that we built up, wherever that is, put the color. So if you see some white or some bone white shining through, put some color over it. Because remember, we already went through and established those lighting values with that dry brush at the beginning. We wanted to put it in very deliberate places so that it was, catching the eye, that it was telling us where the light and the shadow would fall. So just trust the setup that you've already established for yourself. You took that guesswork out of it by putting those highlights deliberately in the places that they're supposed to be, right? So trust the nature of that physical dry brush step. You already did that work, so don't go back and do unnecessary work. And again, this is like an optional step. You could really just do what I did the first time around initially and do nothing else. I want to do this just because I want to build this color up, and it's going to look really, really cool when we do the weapons next. The shield and the sword, to be more exact. So we've already got this like really, really pretty red color going on here. So you can still see a lot of that gray showing through. Again, this is what I would refer to as like a sun drop method. We're using that high contrast, almost slap chop like starting point. We want some of that darkness to show through there. You can see like right at the bottom of where his tabard meets his belt. That's almost black, and that's okay. We want to leave it that way. That's going to give contrast in lighting where there's no contrast in color. But we are also going to tease out some of the color contrast as well. We're going to do that by picking a perfect complementary color to red, which is blue, of course. We're going to go through and we're going to add blue to the weapons, to the shield and the sword. Stream went well. We were editing the Greyhawk wiki again. Need a nap, but I'll be lurking. Go get that nap, friend. Go catch that nap. Naps have been so tempting lately. I've been doing my darndest to get enough sleep. I don't feel like I can get enough.
One,
Twisting Gazpacho, welcome
Shall we get
in.
started? You bunch of newbies.
Hi,
I stand for
friends.
justice,
Thank
but we
you so
lost
much for that
there.
raid.
I am here.
KK sliding into the weekend. Welcome in, friends. Thank you so much for that raid. How are we? Thank you. I hope you're having a great day. Hope you had a good stream. Tell me what you're working on. What were you doing? I'm painting the minis from Buttons and Bugs, Gloomhaven's new micro solo game. The Quattrolls have been at it again. They've shrunk our intrepid mercenaries down to size. And now they have to fight their way through countless enemies. By enemies, I mean bugs. Teeny tiny little threats that they now have to contend with. Folks at Cephalofair were kind enough to hook me up with a copy of this and have me stream this today and tomorrow. So we're going to be painting all these guys both streams. And if you can't stick around for the whole thing, I'll be uploading the VODs to my YouTube. So you can always go back and watch that. If you're not following me on YouTube, same name over there. If you just look up Jamie Daggers, I am over there as well. Most of my content right now is board game painting tutorials. So I've got a Wonderland's War tutorial up there, 3 of them really. And then I'm going to be having 2 Final Girl tutorials coming out this month. So some Resident Evil 2, was it the remake? I love that game. The Resident Evil 2 remake was so fun. Get that brush control going, you know? I'm even going to paint the rest of the sword this color. Even though, you know, we're thinking of a sword as like a blade. The blade's a separate color. In this case, this is a stylized imagination of this color scheme. So we're going to go ahead and paint it. We're going to paint it blue. Okay, so we got the blue color established. I'm going to go ahead and highlight this. How was Adepticon? Adepticon was a lot. In short, it was a lot. It was emotional. It was fun. It was busy as heck. Got to demo my game for, God, a cumulative like 10 hours, which was really cool. I got to show it off to a bunch of people. It felt like mostly my friends, but we definitely had some strangers come up and demo it, which is extra cool. Lots of great compliments on it too, which is just so motivating. We're in the middle of production for it right now, so I'm just like, it was the boost I needed to like get to work on it, you know. Starting to lurk, but I'm way too busy to actually watch and listen. That's okay, Cryo. It's good to see you. It was so cool. I got to hang out with a bunch of new friends. Got to meet a bunch of new people, which was just such a joy. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. Again, I think the combination of not getting enough sleep, not eating enough, and being extremely busy made it a very emotional experience. But a good one. A good one overall. Like, in retrospect, you know, I'm still feeling a lot of that emotion, kind of sorting through those feelings, but, like, it's really positive. It's really nice. It's been really great. You know, I wish I was back there with all my friends doing the things that I was doing for the past week. Getting a little more time to do those things than I had. But there's a lot to be happy with that happened. Oh man, what a great song this is. And again, so we were talking about this sun drop method. You could easily leave it. You could leave this where it's at. But, you know, I want to do a little bit more. I want to do a little bit more with this. I don't want to leave it as is. You could very much leave it at its stopping point right here, and it would look great. It already does look great. We've got this beautiful color contrast between the red and the blue. I'll zoom it in so you can see there's like a little bit of variation there. But when you're on, when you're playing this out and about, nobody would scoff at that. At least it's painted right. Okay, we're gonna keep highlighting up this blue. I want it to be pretty cool looking. So we're just gonna keep adding a little bit of brightness to it. I added a little bit of teal to it as well. I mean, a little bit of yellow to it as well. It's going to drive it a little bit more teal, like this teal green, and that's going to help. That's going to help sell this this like subtle brightening that we're doing. Again, remember at this scale, it's so much harder to kind of like highlight the contrast. So it's it's better if you don't just put a lot of time and stock into really pushing that contrast like we normally would. But there's nothing wrong with trying. There's nothing wrong with adding it if you feel comfortable adding it, or if that's the way you know how to paint. I say go for it. But in general, this scale, painting at this scale, it's really, really important to just have really kind of significant jumps in color, because it'll read much better at this size. We're going to go back and do the same thing with the vermilion color. I'm going to go in and like brighten up some spots. And like I said before, you could really do this like Sundrop style and just be done with that first step that we did. There's so much going on, so much to do every day. It's so much fun hanging out with people who love the same thing you do. Happy I got the chance to meet you. Right back at you. Like, that's what I try to tell everybody when they're, when they're nervous about going to a con or something like that. I just try to remind them that, you walk into that convention hall and you have at least one thing in common with everyone in there, regardless of who you are, what your background is, what you like, what you dislike. There's at least one thing that everyone there likes, that has in common. And it's a starting point, So no matter how anxious you get about it, it's just a great place to meet new people and make some friends you may not have like expected to make, or just meet up with people you love already, build those relationships a little bit. Trying to make Adepticon next year? You should, Tarzan. You should. It is worth it. It's so much fun. So much fun. It's a lot of work. Even if you're not working, it's a lot of work. It really is. All right, so I got even brighter blue here. We're going to more sparingly add this to the most like upraised parts. So again, assuming you know nothing about like layering or highlighting or anything like that. As you jump up in color and brightness, you want to cover less and less of the thing you're highlighting. So if your base coat is covering 100%, just as a starting point, we'll say, the base coat's 100%. Each successive layer that's going to go on is going to be brighter, but it's also going to cover a little less in percentage. So if the base color coat's 100%, your next coat's going to cover 70, and then 50, and then 30. That's not a hard and fast rule, but it's a good starting point. Yeah, topographical map, exactly. Like a ziggurat pyramid. What's so great about Adepticon is how I expected to meet people where we all had in common was minis, and instead I met more and more people I'd be friends with, even if I didn't like minis. So many wonderful humans there. That is true. That is very true. I always spend like 4 hours to paint a Gloomhaven mini because I use the layering method more than Slapchop. Also, I have a lot to improve, but because it's always you, do is always perfect for you. That's right. That's right. You can paint it to the level that you're happy with. And it's good that you keep that in mind because, you know, that goes both ways. That goes both ways, Romer. That, you know, whether you're happy with, you know, a Slapchop method or you're happy with a more intense layering method, whatever the case. God damn it. I can't take this music seriously. Whatever that looks like to you, your satisfaction is the most important part, right? Like, so you have to keep that in mind as you're going. Like, the things that stand out the most to you as, like, important, those are the ones that you should focus on, you know? So now I've jumped up to a really, really bright blue. It's really a gray, if we're keeping score. And leaving this in just the most very specific spots. This is hilarious. I don't really like how bright it made the sword, so I'm going back in with the previous layer color and just dropping some on there. It has to do with a mold line that I left on there that I didn't mean to. But there's nothing wrong with hitting a highlight and, you know, realizing it's too bright and just going back in with another color and just sort of glaze it over there. Glazed over top of it. Bring it back down. This should be the world anthem when aliens decide to declare political commingling. I love it. I love it. I think Buttmatic might be better than Crowbuttic. That's true. That's true. Buttmatic. Yeah, this is what Toto wished they could do. What do you guys think about doing purple for the button on the bottom of this one? Uncle Trash, what's up, my friend? How are you? We'll do the perfect marriage of yellow and blue. Or, I mean, red and blue, rather. Make that the button on the bottom of this dude. So here's a little zoom. The high contrast style, it's like, again, sun drop method is what I would consider this, kind of. It's not an exact science. We've got some sparing highlights here and there. It's not necessarily about the zoom of doom here, but you can see at least my highlight placements and stuff on here. Is this 10 mil? Hero, I think it is. Hey, Chimera. Hero, it's so cool to meet you. You're such a delight. Chimera. Thanks for holding down the fort while we were gone. How'd it go? It gives risograph print. Usually those are only 2 to 3 colors. Split is fun. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, kind of like Altoid Tin Demon Ship, you know? It's fun. All quiet on the front. Good to hear. I mean, not good to hear, but I hope it was not too quiet. Too quiet, too much pressure. Making me want to bust out my Battle of 5 Armies War Master stuff. You should. You should. Rach, I don't think we're going to do cheese time today just because we're only doing 3 hours. Going to be a short stream today. Short to what you're used to. I mean, going forward, that's what streams may start looking like in terms of length. But we shall see. Also, I'm excited to say, Iconoblast, long time no see.
It's not a short stream. It's a Buttons and Bugs sized stream.
That's right. That's right. It's a Buttons and Bugs type style length size stream. You guys, my brain's not working. My brain's not working. Iconoblast, you know what the exciting news about being done with Adepticon and competition painting is? You know what we can finally start working on? Next year's entries? Oh my god, please, no, please. You can take the blue tack off that plinth. I didn't end up entering that one. 3-hour stream. Save your energies for other things too. Yeah, Jared, I want to do. We talked about this. Thought we made a command for the PO box. We didn't, but I can do this. Boop. There's your PO box. It's been empty for a while, so thank you for anyone who's considering to send something. Rest is productive. Well, Sebastian, I wish I could say that it was going to be rest, but it's going to be more video content. So look out, YouTubers. I'm coming for you. My broken brain was also like, next year's competition painting. Yeah, Iconoblast. We're going to be doing Nurgle Nids soon. Leafy, hi. Leafy, how are you? I did have a great time at Adepticon. A very emotional time. I mentioned that a bunch this stream. I'm sure people are tired of hearing it, but it was really good. It was a really, really good time. I'll get another box together close to birthday time. Thanks, Noah. You bet I'm going to send you British snacks. Oh my god. You're too sweet. You're too sweet. Yeah, I think the last one was from Woodworker. Last time we got mail. And of course, I'll open it on stream unless you guys don't want me to. It's all up to you. Oh. But yeah, no. Adepticon was awesome. It was like I said, it was emotional in some ways. It was kind of cool. Like, I was mentioning at the beginning of the stream, there were moments where I just had to pause and just kind of force myself to recognize the fact that, like, you know, it's not every con you're going to be like 5 feet away from your best friend both demoing your first games at the same time. Like, how cool is that? There were a few times where I just had to stop and like think about the situations that I was in, the people that I was meeting. Just like, man, this is surreal. These people live in my computer normally, and now I get to see them in real life, and we're friends now, you know? Like, real honest to goodness friends that have met in real life and have hugged and, you know, spoken in person. In the flesh. How cool is that? I really truly think that's part of why I'm so exhausted is because of how like intentional I was about being present, like trying to be like mentally there. And the people at home could attest because I didn't talk to many people. And I apologize for that, but you know, what are you gonna do? You can't stop me. Many tins of baked beans. Amazing. Riot Sister, hey, it was so good to meet you. You can't just dump beans into an envelope and call them snacks. I'd eat them. Having a blast with what's going on my channel. I'm stoked my friends are coming back from Adepticon. Everything's going well. I'm just in a good mood in general, which hasn't happened in a really long time. I hope it stays that way, too. So glad it was such a fulfilling experience for you. Thank you. Thank you, Chimera. Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. I mentioned before the most like flattering thing was like between people giving such like thoughtful, like meaningful compliments about my game and couple people asked for my autograph, which was wild. And super cool. It was just very flattering, very sweet. It wasn't, I don't think it was in this like, you know, you're famous kind of way, but just in a way where they thought it would, you know, make you feel special, and they were right. They sure were right. A lot of cool firsts. But I think a big thing I'm looking at doing comes to changing up my content a little bit is kind of pumping the brakes a little bit on competition painting. Genuinely like pumping the brakes on like learning new stuff too. Just taking like a bit of a breather, because I've just been going nonstop for the past 2 years, just like pushing my art. And it's not to say I'm like satisfied with where it's at, but I'm just feeling like I was knocking up against burnout a little bit, and I need to just like reel it back a little bit, you know. Just need to chill. I don't need to keep pushing as much as I am, at least not on that. I'll still be learning stuff, you know. Prized item is Jamie's autograph, my con book. Aw, that's so sweet. Coming up on bedtime for me. I will see you around soon. I hope, Jamie, it was so good to hear you get a good con experience. Thank you so much, Closed. I hope you have a wonderful sleep. Can't wait to play your game. So happy everyone loved playing it. Leafy, thank you so much. There is a digital version. We can make that happen. We got to crowdfund a giant dagger for you to bring to con, so when people ask for your autograph, you can pull out the dagger and ask, where do you want it? Yeah, I feel like that wouldn't go over well. That might be hard to get through TSA. Exactly, Hero. Exactly. And that's the thing, right? I'm not going to not do competition painting. But I am not going to make a new thing for every con I go to like I have been for like the past 2 years. Like every single con I go to, I've been painting something new. So I'll either just not enter if I don't have time, or I'll be very specific about which ones I'll bring new pieces to. Like Nova. You know, Nova is kind of a more serious. I say serious as if it's like self-serious, but like it's just a bigger expo when it comes to painting. So like, you know, I may not bring anything to Gen Con or anything new to Gen Con. You know, maybe I'll get something that I planned on bringing to Nova, or I did bring to Nova, and enter it there as well. You know, just being a little bit more conscientious about my time. Like, I've got all sorts of cool ideas for videos and how I want to approach that. So I'm gonna kind of lean into that a little bit more, get creative with the video making process. That's my goal, at least. We'll see what happens. We'll see how sustainable this is. I know I get really excited when I come back from cons and I get all these brilliant ideas. We'll see if I can hold myself to it. But it was just super cool. It was super flattering for everybody who, you know, played and liked the game. Oh, awesome. Some Cult of Lamb music. We're going to start that Nuzlocke run here, too. So we're going to be doing a little more than just painting on stream. I'm going to do that Nuzlocke run. That's going to be fun. Okay, so I'm going back in with that Burning Vermilion color we started with. And just picking out some areas I wanted to highlight. We're going to make them extra bright. And then I'm going to darken the original color just ever so slightly. With a little bit of that purple. And then we're going to thin the bejesus out of it. We're going to put it on like a wash. That's going to hit all these lower spots that we need some darkness in, some shadow in. A little bit of contrast color there so that these features stand out a little bit more. Especially on the face. And then since we just put that highlight on there, this is kind of going to be a bit of a uniting color for all this. And the purple's going to match the button a little bit. This is very much this part is definitely a trust the process step, because it's not going to seem like it does a whole lot until it dries. And then once it does, you get to decide if you want to do another layer or not, because if it's not dark enough in the right areas, you can always add more. I'm going to be very deliberate about darkening the face here because I think it just needs a little bit more of those details showing. So I'm going to, especially in the eyes, like the more shadowed parts, I'm going to
add a little bit more of the wash. And then if it darkens too much, we could just go back and pick out those details with, you know, with the highlight color. Oh yeah, Polly, I've had a P.O. box for a minute. I just was asked about it and I forgot to put it on the screen. Screw the books down with learning. Got a lurk his last day with my partner before he's back at work. Oh, Leafy, go enjoy your time with your partner. Thank you so much for the lurk. Have a great day. One time, a friend had a bunch of us over to play Twilight Imperium. We showed up at 8 a.m. on a Sunday. 10 hours later, we called it, even though we didn't finish. And all I could think was, as fun as this was, we had eight nerds for 10 hours. We could have done so much more. That's a metaphor for competition painting. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Don't need to leave that up there. All I ask is that if you do send anything to the P.O. box, that you remember to let me know that you're doing it, because if I get anything that I'm not aware of, I will probably throw it away out of safety, you know, like safety concerns. Okay, so this is pretty much done. This is that sun drop method I mentioned before. Sending myself to your P.O. box. Oh, God, I wish, Witty. I wish. We could just send you back and forth every other week, you know? You can go home for a week. You can come back for a week. Go home for a week. You can send two boxes, one with Archie in it, too. Oh, listen, Noah. My house is the mecca of snacks. Woody won't need any snacks. So this is what I would call like that sun drop method that I mentioned before. This is like a really, really easy high contrast style. Real simple. We've got the nice gray tones and black tones in there still. The bright red highlights. The contrasting blue weapon. I usually just pick out a thing or two, a characteristic or two to add that nice contrasting color to. Just to add a little bit of detail, a little bit of visible interest. That's right, a goblin will want for nothing at the dagger's estate. That's correct. You need to go to the earth of your homeland to go to ground. Well, you could always bring a little bag of your homeland with you, you know? And I already sent some dirt from my homeland to Witty, so I don't need to worry about that if I ever go visit her, you know? So here, compared to the first guy, poor Guillermo. This is having a hard time focusing. Wait, let me hold it here. That'll do. And you could theoretically do like a wash on the buttons if you wanted to draw that out a little bit more. Just remember, on my camera, for whatever reason, it ends up looking a lot patchier than it does in person for some reason. Anyone who saw my competition mini at the con can tell you that. Hell yeah, Bryce! I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. And you know what? If we could do 3 every day, then we're gonna be hitting a good clip. So why don't we start this third one? Get it done. We got about 40 minutes left. I think we could knock it out. Some of these are a little smaller, which could be good or bad. I don't know yet. I guess we'll have to see. This one looks good. We'll do this one. Because there's one that's holding a fireball, and I feel like that could be a lot of fun. We painted the Bruiser. The Spellweaver may have... Yeah, the fire on the Spellweaver. That'll be fun. The Mind Thief is my personal favorite, so let's do the Mind Thief. Purple orange to round it out. That's true. Even smaller, you mad woman. Yeah, I'm going to be writing people's names on grains of rice next. These little things are adorable. Aren't they so cute? Aren't they so cute? Ooh, this one has a little purple in the fur. We could do a little freehand on this bad boy. Let's do it. This is going to be fun. A little bit of freehand madness on here. Shout out to my good friend Christian Ulrich for giving me these awesome little studio brushes. I've been having a lot of time messing with them. They're really, really nice. I'm never going to need a brush again in my life with the amount of brushes that I got this weekend. I like this one a lot because it's blue and magenta, which is always a really nice color scheme. And the hands get really bright blue, so we already have the colors out that we need from that last paint job. So we don't need to go back to the bottles to get those colors out. It'd be perfect. And the feet, you know, as it goes down the body, it starts to get a little bit more like purple or magenta, burgundy-ish colors. But we're going to start with blue just to get things set up and ready to go. And then the clothes themselves are all purple too, which is awesome. You know, I'm a pro purple. I don't get to paint it much because I usually like talk myself out of it. The knife is also the same kind of glowing blue as the hand, so we're gonna base coat it with that blue color. A little shabao there. We're gonna do that to the tail. This one's gonna be done before we know it. Paint more purple. That's right. Sorry if I'm super quiet today. Work is super. Don't you dare apologize to me. Have you had a chance to play the game, or did they just send a little minis to you? Hero, I actually have the game. I haven't gotten to play it yet, though. Monochromatic purple. That's right. You should, Hero. It's really awesome. It's a great price point. It's an awesome solo experience. I haven't played it, but I've watched a little gameplay action. Usually, if I'm going to be, you know, painting something on stream, even if I've never played it before, I try to look up something about it so I can speak with at least a small amount of authority on it. And in the case of this, I wouldn't say I'm an expert on it, but we do have 2 employees of Cephalofair here in chat, so if you have questions, feel free to ask them. It's Gloomhaven, but think 20-minute combat Sudoku puzzles. I love that. I love that. No, they never miss. They never miss. Gogo Bordello would be proud of you, Sebastian. Noah, didn't you say it's a $20 price point too, which is wild? Wait, what? Wait, what? Decoy, what do you wait what? Yeah, $20 MSRP. How do you beat that? Spoiler alert, you can't. You just can't. Yeah, I haven't listened to Gogo Bordello in a while either. Is that Demonship? No, this is. I'm talking for Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs, Decoy.
I'm in a Gloomhaven game that's been going on for years, and we still, in the middle of a scenario, have to stop and say, okay, Isaac, you got us. Nice job again. I'm tempted to buy a few sets and gift them to GCN folks to get them into minis. A few of the guys live Gloomhaven, like Gloomhaven stream playing the video game and everything. Ooh, that would be kind of cool. Noah, that would be really cool. That'd be a really great way to get them into minis. Listen, I'm just saying, if anybody, does live broadcast stuff and wants somebody to show them how to paint minis, I know a gal. That's all I'm saying. I already teach at cons, it's not that much different. Okay, going through and just doing kind of swipey highlights here to mimic that fur color. This is kind of like what we did with that Algox on the first stream ever so long ago, last summer in July, I believe it was. Because the Mind Thief has kind of patchy fur, sort of. Not patchy, it's pretty straightforward. So just in the the upward facing areas, I'm adding these little swipey highlights to give the illusion of fur. And then this is going to be at least the base color for the knife and the hand that are both glowing this bright blue color. So it's going to match the fur ever so slightly. But I don't want to paint every aspect of the knife here because I do want it to stand out, so we need to leave some of that darkness there for contrast. So I'm not being terribly thorough with it. And then the feet I'm going to keep from highlighting because they are more of like a burgundy color. So I'm going to grab some of that. Actually, we're going to mix that vermilion color into some blue and make our own. Con card has caught up to me and need a nap. No problem, Painterly. Take care of yourself. It's not a Sudoku puzzle. It's a solo Gloomhaven experience. I want to get them into minis so they put them into their produced shows like D20 and Hired You. Oh my god, Noah, that'd be so cool. Buttons and Bugs, 20-minute solo combat scenarios that are played on the back of a standard-sized card. Usually scenarios are completed in 6 to 8 rounds of combat, so light setup components, but deep strategically. Your nail color's yummy. Thank you, Bonko. Thank you. I love it. They held up really nicely, even throughout the weekend of the con, which is a surprise. Normally my gremlin ass can't keep my nails nice that long. Okay. So, didn't love how those highlights turned out on some of the skin, so I'm just going back and blocking in some of this blue. We'll just go back in and tease that back out a little bit here in a minute. Just very interesting at scale how to make these look. Oh my god, this is killing me. These KK slider covers are so good. Do we tag our orders with JV so they know where to send the check? Nah, just get the game. Support good people making cool things. That's the rule. That's the rule around here. I appreciate that support, though, Hero. You got the right idea. Yeah, that philosophy applies to your creator friends, too. Just remember that. We're all working off our little butts off, keeping the good content coming. Do it, I dare you. Do it. Bryce, if you do end up painting yours, you're gonna have to send me the pics of them. I won't share them unless you want me to, but I would love to see them. I will. I'll come drop them in the Discord. Ooh, you should. That'd be so cool. These KK slider covers are hilarious. It's so good. What an unexpected treat for today. They work surprisingly well for this for some reason. There we go. Now I'm feeling a little better about these highlights. Thought I had to break out a smaller brush, and we don't do that very often. I'm officially all traveled to Seattle for the con. Ooh, good to hear that. Good to hear that, Nate. I'm glad you're safe. Jamie, you willing to critique an existing painted mini or two at Nerdfest? Absolutely. Absolutely. Please bring them. Nate, so good to see you. Coming at you butt from my... Coming at you from my butt. Nate, please. I know it's been a while, but... Okay, so the Mind Thief has some kind of interesting purple details on the forehead, so we're going to try to kind of paint those in there. They're a little bit more intricate than we're going to be able to do at this scale, but I think as long as we're able to indicate that they're there. And then the benefit of that is that we can use the same purple to highlight other parts of the clothing. I think my favorite part, or my favorite way to highlight purple, is with I take sunny skin tone or some sort of like peachy color. Use it to brighten it up. But in this case, it goes up to almost a pink. So I'm going to take one of my favorite highlight colors, Inappropriate Plum. And then we can take a little bit of some what do you call it? Some fluorescent color and drop it in there. So glad to see you, Jamie. The con looked fun, but I missed your streams. Aw. Thanks for saying that. That makes me feel real good. I miss streaming. I really did. I always miss streaming when I'm away. It feels weird. I mean, it was so much fun. Con was a blast. It was such a delight. But I'm really, really excited to be back and working on some new projects and hopefully getting to tease some stuff here soon and share more Sirens Watch stuff with you guys and, you know, just in general, get back to the swing of things a little bit before I have to leave again. It's going to be a busy year for me. But I am happy to say that even when I travel up to Seattle, I'll probably be streaming while I'm up there. So you won't have to worry about missing me that week. Leave and see me IRL. That's right. That's right. I'm going to come see you IRL. That's going to be cool as hell. Well. Yeah, my friend Thomas, who's the person I'm staying with up there, already has a stream set up for me. We're ready to go, ready to rock. We're going to be painting. All sorts of cool stuff. One of my favorite things to do, I haven't talked about it much lately, but one of my favorite things to do is use fluorescence as mix-in colors for highlights. It's a strange approach sometimes, but if it's done correctly, it can add a really, really cool effect. Get 10 streamed. Hit him with the 1. Thanks for streaking for 10 streams. Been doing that recently because of Zams. Zams is the best. I got to spend so much time with Zambies this week, and it still wasn't enough. Hitting these little marks on his forehead real quick, too.
Gotta do this little belt here in the middle. Forgot about that. Belt. It's a very Dana Howell color scheme, and I mean that in the best possible way. Well, I love Dana Howell. Talk about somebody I want to meet sometime. That'd be cool as heck. I wish I could say, I'm not using, well, not, I guess I don't wish that. I was going to say, I wish I could say I'm using like a unique color scheme, but I am basing it off of the card. But it is a unique color scheme in and of itself, so that's kind of cool. I'll show you. Realizing the tail is not the color I actually painted it. It's not supposed to be the blue color of the rest of the mini. So I'm gonna repaint that to look more like the card here. Very, very close to being done with this one here. Yeah, the color, the color, I mean, I can't take credit for the color choices. Those are all you guys. I'm just basing it off of the cards. All right, I never do this, but I'm taking out the teeny tiny brush. I never ever do this. But it's happening. We're going to do it for the eyeballs. What up, Jamie? We barely saw each other at Adepticon. I know, Tony. I know. I'm so sorry. I was so busy at Adepticon. I was demoing, I was mingling, I was doing all sorts of stuff. I know I told you I was going to come do that paint and pass. Didn't get a chance to. Very, very sorry about that. Good to see you, though. You were the first person I saw at Adepticon, actually. Maybe doing the eyes wasn't such a good idea. Not with the time I have. Although I guess I could go back in and just... If I get the color in there, I can just paint around it. That might be the move here. This is the reason I don't use small brushes, though, is because by the time I get the brush to the mini, paint's already dry. Then you end up building up texture all over it. Small brushes are for the birds. This is why I don't use them. Sebastian, thank you so much for the lurk. I appreciate you, friend. Let's see. Small speed splash. That's right. Oh, thank you, Laura. Thanks for the cook and lurk. Painting birds, what the heck? No birds here. They always, yeah, they hold less paint, but don't always have a smaller tip. That's true. Quick chat. What color button should we make this? We gotta make a quick choice here. Doesn't have to be too quick, but I would like to know what color you guys want me to paint it. Yellow for poppin'. Oh man. Yellow's gonna be hard to paint over black. But you guys did say yellow. I didn't ask you to give me an easy color. I just asked for a color, so this is my own mistake. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm feeling that. The cuttlefish orange with good coverage. Quite a few cuttlefish colors with good coverage. Those base colors are really awesome. Yeah, pink undercoat, not a bad call, not a bad call. I do have that fluorescent pink out. We could just go wild with that as the undercoat. That might be kind of fun. Would have demanded octarine, Jamie, but instead we kindly gave you yellow. I don't even know what octarine is. I feel like you made that up. Might take a minute to dry, though. Just because of how thin it is. That's okay. That's okay. So what'd y'all do while we were gone? What'd you do while all the mini painters were away? What'd you guys do? You work on anything? Really love how this is turning out. Thank you so much. Claims to be a professional, doesn't have the Pantone charts memorized. Oh my god, Jamie, I just realized if you're moving away from competition painting, you're moving toward having a single entry for Golden Demon and Meat Grinder. You know, Iconoplast, I did have my Meat Grinder mini with me. I had dollar in hand waving it around, ready to do it. But if I need an eyewitness testimony, Whitty was there. The crowd was just too strong. I built a new computer. It's pretty and fast and filled with rainbows. Boy, it sounds an awful lot like me.
I'm not fast. Pretty fast at painting. I'm no longer calling it RGB, only rainbows. That's right. Eyewitness or butt witness, as a certain digital chatter would assert. Come on, dry faster. Haley, I'm sure I don't know who you're talking about. Jamie's the fastest mermaid I know. Do you know many mermaids? How do you guys feel knowing that, like, basically a stream meme made it to be the name of my game? A few. I'm part of a cryptid club. Ooh, that sounds fun. I keep reading fast in that 1950s fast women sense, and it makes all this so much funnier. You know of two. Does the other one happen to be little? You guys are mean for making me paint this yellow when we're on a time crunch. Just want y'all to know that. You have no pity for me. You know, I haven't streamed in over a week, and the first thing you do is make me paint yellow. You should be ashamed of yourselves. You have 3 minutes, you're fine. You're right, Noah. You're right. You're right, Noah. Problem is, it's just not drying fast enough. Also, this is more of an ochre than a yellow, but it does look pretty cool. Raven, what's going on? How are you? Welcome in. I love the name of your game, so I guess good. Yeah, that is good. Thank you. I love the name of my game too. Any advice from people with experience doing conventions on what to do at conventions for a convention first timer with Salute next month? What should I wear? What should I bring, etc.? Any etiquette that might not be immediately obvious? Pull my head out of the sand. Well, I'm glad you're here, Haley. I would say definitely comfy shoes. Comfy shoes for sure. Be okay with the fact that, like, any games you bring, you're probably not going to play unless you're going strictly to play games. Honestly, a lot of people wear Crocs at cons, and it's not a bad idea. The more I go to them, the more I'm like, maybe they're onto something. Maybe they're onto something. Maybe they know something I don't, you know? I forgot mine last minute. Con Crocs are a thing, y'all. That's what I wear around the house. Those are my Crocs are my slippers. I also sing the praises of Concroc. Saved me last week at Otakon and Katsucon in the past. So resistant to Crocs, but every line cook I know swears by them. I was still resistant to Iconoplast until I got a gift card for them, and I just got them, and now I wear them all the time. I don't know why they find them that comfortable. Maybe my feet are narrow. I use them for running outside to feed birds or get the mail. Couldn't imagine walking around in them. I got spikes and gothy bits. I love that. Y'all are good advice givers. Thank you. Oh yeah, bring a water bottle. Bring a water bottle and get ready to chug crazy amounts of water. Like if you think at all about water in any form, drink water. If you think, I could go for a little sip, drink a lot of water. In short, drink an alarming amount of water. Okay. Well, that's drying. I'm going to grab the other two, and we'll take a look at all of them really quick. We got the Bruiser, the Cragheart, and the Mind Thief all done today. 3 hours, 3 minis. Can't really complain about that. Hey, Trebled, what's going on? How are ya? Andrea, 16 months. Holy moly. Thank you so much. That's a long time.
Hey, look at us, less than 3.
Low-key, bring your own roll of toilet paper? Oh my god. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. I would say for your first time, keep an open schedule. Oh yeah, I mean, I would say every time. I always keep an open schedule. At places like Adepticon, there's so much to see that sometimes I'm still finding stuff I missed when they're packing up the booths. That's true. That's true. 16 months, Andrea. Holy moly. 3 hours, 3 minis, or 2 months, 1 mini. You end up being disappointed in. Doing okay, feel a little tired. Wish I had more time to create music. Me too, Trebled, except more about, videos. But that's okay. That's what we're working on. Look at these bitty boys. Not bad for 3 hours. We got one example of the, this one here is the example of like the sun drop method. These two are more of like a detail paint. But I dare say all of them look pretty darn good. Again, just as a, let me give you a quick scale example here. This is a Dryad from Warhammer on a 32 mil base. But Jamie, you say, I can't see it. Well, okay, I'll zoom out. Oh, Jamie, still can't see it all. Okay. All right, I'll zoom out more. How wild is that? Look how small those are. This is a regular 32 mil base with a regular, heroic scale mini or epic scale mini. How cool is that? Look at how tiny these babies are. And here, remember what I said about the contrast thing? At this distance, when you're not looking right up on them, everything pops, You You can do the Zoom of Doom and like get all up in there. See what? Yeah, Iconoclast. Exactly. Things look so much more. Things are tightened up at this distance. You know what I mean? Hi, Mr. Funkadizzle. How's it going? Welcome in. Yeah, isn't this cool? How do you like that? One more zoom and I'll show you. You can see like an active measure of like how up close, you know, it's hard to see how this contrast works. And then watch the magic happen as we zoom out. You ready? And now it reads so much better. And even more so when you do the 3 feet test. Ta-da! How do you like that? Pretty sick. We got 3 more to paint, and that's going to be tomorrow's stream. You know? That's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. So you get to another taste of these tomorrow. All that detail work just got so much more impressive. Thank you, Iconoclast. And Jamie, what video should I watch on how to play and a playthrough of this? I usually just say pick your favorite person. Pick your favorite person that you like. You know, your favorite YouTuber. It's turned out great. Thanks, Chromatic. I appreciate it. Not bad for 3 hours, eh? Just typing out the story in Bonds' Discord of us being at Gamma, looking at those folks and the person at the booth making the comment about being excited to see folks try to paint these, and then us just sort of dying because, oop, you're playing. Then I realized, oh my god, you're streaming it now. What? Mr. Funkadizzle, thanks so much for the resub for 4 months.
Beast entry.
And thank you so much for the Resin Beast compliments. We're close to the second hype train of the day. My goodness. You guys are too kind. I ended up placing top 10 with my Resin Beast, or top 5 rather with my Resin Beast. I didn't place. They only award for top 3. But dang, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of my entry. Ooh, let's go Prime. Thank you for the 5-month sub.
Ooh, let's go Prime.
Thank you for 5 months of subs. Thanks, Chimera. I gotta fix it. It broke on the way home, which I'm not too thrilled about. But thank you so much. Yeah, I'm really proud of how it turned out. I think, like I said, I'm gonna pump the brakes a little bit on competition painting. Just be like a little bit more deliberate about it. You know, about what I'm painting for what and when. I love this song, but this one's kind of wearing on me. I don't like that noise. Yeah, I'll probably just paint for Nova and then maybe do another one for Adepticon next year. But like, other than that, I'll just either re-enter stuff or just paint things for fun. And then if I really like it, I'll just, I'll do more work on it deliberately instead of being like, I'm going to paint this thing specifically for competition. I'm just going to be like, I'm going to take this thing that's already kind of well painted and just enter it. Otherwise I end up like psyching myself out a bunch and spending a lot of time on something that I'm not having fun with. That's why I dropped my Golden Demon piece. So, yeah, exactly, Noah. Exactly. I was making the joke that I was painting that Lady of Vines, and you guys were like, you should enter this into Golden Demon, and I was having really fun with it, and then I was like, yeah, I should, and then I immediately stopped having fun with it. That's all I want to do in comps. That's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. All right. All these colors. All these bright colors are making me think of my friend Spark. So we're going to raid her. Re-entering's fun. You get to see how your model does in different comps and compare and judging them. That's a good idea. That's a good way of looking at it, Raven. Nice place you got here. Sure be a shame if someone came in and just started dabbing. No! Oh, man. I also found Astronites while looking into B&B, so check that out. Ooh, okay. You're supposed to take a normal mini blue tack into a plinth and enter it, Jamie. You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. Thank you so much for streaming. It's nice to have you back. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I wasn't planning on streaming this soon after con, but here we are. I planned this ahead of time. This stream and tomorrow's stream were planned ahead of time. So, you know, the rest of the week we'll see. I may not stream on Friday. I'm thinking I might not. We'll see where I'm at. I'll let you know. Tomorrow we're streaming again. 1 p.m. till 4 p.m. just like we did today. We're going to paint the last 3 of these Gloomhaven minis. These little dudes. And I dare say we will have a good time doing it. It's anything like today. Sorry, Grumpy, I didn't answer your question. We're on our way out here. If you stream Friday, I won't be there driving the U-Haul. Ooh. Yeah, we're going to go raid Spark. Spark and I got to spend a lot of time together this week, and she's a good friend. She's a wonderful person. She's a little ball of energy, and she's so much fun to be around. So I think you guys are going to love it. It looks like she's working on building some stuff. So I hope you guys have a good time over there. I'm seeing some recognizable names in chat. Some of you are already there, so it won't be much different. But anyway, back here tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be doing Gloomhaven minis again. Thank you guys so much for showing up for my first stream back, and I'm excited to see y'all tomorrow. Please do not forget. I don't know why I'm not on the intro screen. I forgot how to stream, y'all. Back here tomorrow. See you guys. Have a wonderful, safe evening. Eat something tasty. Of course, do not forget to